Hello and welcome back to the Villa View for a post-match reaction. It's still Saturday, we're still working away on some videos. Fancams is literally uploading as we speak. The game though, fantastic.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thanks to everyone who showed up for Fancams. It was pretty difficult today, and you didn't need me much actually. You kind of handled it on your own, but the wind and weather was awful. I'm still soaked now, so apologies for my appearance. I'm drenched through, but it was worth it. I mean, me and you were walking back to the train station in a pretty bad mood because of the filming and stuff, and you completely forget that Villa just trashed another big team, and Borough a massive team in this league, and they've been up there all season with Pulis, and we've trashed them. We've trashed Forest and Blues and Derby, so we've really went on that. We've been dropping bodies ever since Grealish come back. It's been incredible, and it's been amazing to see. It's been really positive stuff, and I hope we can all carry on and enjoy this, because what's the limit now? What is the limit? Because Villa didn't even have to, they didn't even drop a sweat. They didn't even break into sweat doing that. And that was a crushing of a major player in this league.
Yeah, I said the same to you. Like I said, after we've done fan cams, we sort of almost forget that we've just won a game, because obviously there's an element of today where I'm fully focused on the filming aspect and making a video that you focus on that as well. But yeah, the game itself, we didn't really have to come out of second gear. I didn't think that there was times where, much like the Derby game, there's elements where you're thinking this is almost a bit like a training routine now, that we're just going through the motions and seeing the game out. In Derby, we were 4-0 up at half-time, which is obviously mental in itself. This one, we scored just before half-time to go 2-0 ahead. Second half, you sort of just... Middlesbrough didn't threaten. I never once felt worried by them. I think I've seen the stats, and they had one shot on target. I don't remember what that was, but it probably wasn't enough to make me think, that was close or anything. It was just poor all round from them. That for a team that's either fourth or fifth or whatever they are, I don't know how they've been up there for 2 seasons in a row, if that's the sort of football they're playing.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, because I remember their shot on target, and it was quite a tame effort, and if anything, their most dangerous chance was a shot off target when Sambalonga had almost a free header. From where I was sitting, it was, I was on the lower hole this time, so I didn't get, the perspectives out, but it looked like he was right in the face of goal, and it went miles wide, and you just think, how.
He should have scored, actually, that. He should have done better with that.
And he was moaning the whole game. He wanted that long ball. He wanted to take the fight to Mings, and fair play to him, but Borough wouldn't let him. The team wouldn't let him take that fight. They wouldn't play that long ball. They wouldn't give him, that foot race. And, when he did have the chance, he was moaning all game and wanting that chance given. And when he had it, he couldn't deliver. And I was pretty fearful of when he came on. Borough is something else. I just don't know how they are in the position they're in.
I thought that today's game was more so that, yes, Borough were rubbish, but we were very good in parts today as well. Yeah. That we didn't have to step out of second gear, but because we were comfortable and we were making chances and we were pinging the ball around nicely, it was always just sort of that final ball that was the letdown. We'd have a nice move, it'd come down the left, and the fullback would get involved, and a midfield player would come for it. You'd go down the wing, and then the cross would be no good. Or you'd go down the other side, or you'd come into Tammy, he'd hold it up, then someone would run off him, but then the final ball isn't there. Obviously, that's football, that these things happen. But it was just that final moment that wasn't there today. And if that final moment was there, we could have won 5, 6, 7. Because Middlesbrough were that poor.
Other players are stepping up in big style, like John McGinn, and for most of the season has just been this guy who just works really hard, and he occasionally does something wonderful, and he's doing it over and over again. Since he's come back from suspension, he's running shows. He's run it against Blues late on. He run it against Nottingham Forest, and he did it today in exceptional style. Then you go on to Glenn Whelan, who he made it football look easy. And he was playing some, he was in some high pressure situations, and he was laying off the first touch passes, running the show complete. And Tyrone Mings had was in a battle today. He was in Stuart Downing was chucking in crosses after cross in the first half, and it was Mings who was putting his head on everything. And Courtney House, these players are stepping up, and you go into Taylor and Al Mohammedi, who are just doing incredible things at fullback.
I've just noticed that fan cam's ready, so I'm going to press upload in a minute, but while I do, you can carry on talking. I want to ask you about Glenn Whelan a little bit more specifically. Obviously, Conor Horahan's wife or girlfriend has given birth last night. Best wishes to them if they're watching, I'm sure they are. Obviously, he's busy with his family, so he wasn't involved today, which is why he wasn't in the team. So maybe if his partner hadn't given birth, he might have been in the team, and we don't see possibly a man of the match performance from Glenn Whelan. Talk to me about that while I upload this video.
Glenn Whelan was putting his head in the danger zone, which we might not see from Horahan. But I think we'd have probably seen more attacking threat, and maybe it wouldn't be 3-0. Maybe we'll be looking at a devastating scoreline, because I don't think Horahan's this type of player to settle. He constantly does push forward. But Glenn Whelan, more on him, it was fantastic to see the entire stadium just chant his name, because I know his family would really appreciate that. I mean, Glenn Whelan's a bit of a throwback. He doesn't really show necessarily much kind of positive emotion on the football pitch. It's a kind of, leadership and aggression seem to be his traits. He wants to, he'll motivate the team. But, you don't see that happiness and appreciation that probably goes under the surface. But I know he's, I think it's his wife who's quite vocal on Twitter about the situations that she finds herself in, as being, the matriarch of that Whelan family. I'm going to, watch him at the football games at Stoke and Villa. And she has to deal with criticism. So it's really, a nice reward for her and the family, and for on the back of his performances of this team, the entirety of Villa Park singing his name, singing his praises. And yes, sometimes it is ironic, but you only get into that ironic status by building that, that amazing platform through solid performances. And it's nice to see that, essentially this really boring work that he does is rewarded by just, absolute love and adoration. It should be, completely, because you don't have to do back heels or key passes or create chances or score goals to be appreciated in football. We do look at these things. We look at the high scorers, people who are making the most chances, the assist makers. We're not looking at the other players. How do we judge these other players? And I think we're finding a way to appreciate not just Glenn Whelan, but people like Al Mohammadi and Courtney House, who do really simple things on the ball, and they're appreciated for it. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I'm pleased to see it, because I think we are too critical of players. You aren't just going mad, 5-star moves on FIFA. We're looking for highlight reel stuff. We are always looking for highlight reel stuff, and Glenn Whelan isn't going to be someone who provided that. But saying that, there was a moment when in the first half, and everyone was begging Whelan to shoot, and he did try and catch the keeper out from, in his own half.
I think that was a pass.
You reckon?
I haven't seen it back. At the time, I thought he'd spotted the run of El Ghazi, because El Ghazi was in front of us and he'd made a run and he hit it, and I thought he was meant to go for the pass.
Right,
I haven't seen it back. I haven't seen it back, so maybe it was an effort, but my initial thought at the time was, he's misplaced a pass there. But I was like, he almost caught the keeper off guard as well, but maybe I'm wrong.
Andre Green, if you're going to look at, a weak link, you're going to say Andre Green, and that, even then, that weak link is a 6.5 out of 10 performance. He wasn't that bad. He was playing
average. He had some decent spells, but nothing groundbreaking. But if you had to say who played worse today, you'd say him by default. But that was because everyone played well today. We've won 3-0. You can't say anyone had a bad game.
No, not at all. Andre Green, I think he was on his wrong side as well to accommodate Anwar El Ghazi, who was pretty exceptional, pretty special today. He did the right things, and he, of course, bagged the goal. A long time coming. He isn't the most consistent player, but I don't think there's many players at this level who are incredibly consistent that we can afford, or who play for the team, or who are available, because he is a special place, and he's shown glimpses of incredible and exceptional ability at this level. That I want him to kick on, and I want him to do it in a Villa shirt. I wouldn't want him to do it anywhere else. Why would we run that risk? There was something I actually noticed, and this is going well off, we're not talking about wingers anymore. We're going to go into Tyrone Mings, because there was times when, Villa had come up for a set piece and the ball had went out, and he'd walk over to the ball boy and go, "You ain't throwing that back, mate. You ain't giving it to their keeper to kick off. You're keeping it there." And he controlled stuff like that, just the minor details applied by people like Tyrone Mings, who's just, he's such a brainy footballer. And I don't know how we've made, a 1 million loan fee is an absolute steal.
To be honest, I can't believe he's had to drop down to the Championship, to be honest.
No, absolutely not. I'd have thought, go to Serie A, get a loan move there, go into Europe, but flipping, 1 million loan deal in the Championship. He looks like a king for us at the back. He's absolutely unstoppable, Yeah,
I love him.
Downing plays a dangerous crossing, and we know that firsthand. But Tyrone Mings was just there, just dealing with it like it was Sunday League football.
He does that thing as well, where he'll be playing out from the back, and he'll sort of roll across his body and then turn the other way and completely sell the defender. He'll do that multiple times a game. He'll be in a tight space in right down by the byline. He'll just sort of roll it back through the opposite way and ping a ball up forward. And it's just he's a classy player, and a player that we've been missing since probably Twanzabe's been missing in terms of a player on the ball. Chester obviously as well. I mean, if we can keep him next year, like somebody said in fan cams, that could be the difference between like promotion and staying in the division again, because it's someone that organises from the back, somebody that's classy, clever on the ball, will organise the defence and it just help bring a positive atmosphere. The guy's been here like 2 months and people love him already. He's connected with the fans, and that's the sort of thing that we saw last year with like Snodgrass. They're all over social media talking about Villa, and I know that's sort of a thing you almost have to do in this day and age, but it just helps bridge that connection between the club, the players and the fans, and it helps when you're a great player as well. But somebody like him, it's been no coincidence that, yes, this run has included the return of Jack Grealish, but the defence has been so much more solid as well.
Absolutely. I think one thing that you said that I wanted to talk about is the Tyrone Mings turn, because I think there's a lot of number of players
in this team. That now?
yeah. They've all got like signature moves. Like John McGinn does that weird pivot. It always has to involve
his bum in the back of them and like moves his body around.
Yeah, it's
just a terrible impression I've just done, by the
way. it always involves like two players trying to take the ball off him from behind, and he just spins them. He always does that, and no one picks up on it. No one's able to defend it. And I think Tyrone Mings always does that. He telegraphs it. He does this that side step where he goes over the ball. And, Grealish kind of just dances around it. He always takes it through the corner of the box into the middle to make the shot. That it's really cool to see these things actually develop and us pick up on it, because it's interesting. It creates a narrative and a storyline with these type of things in the match. We pick up on these similar things. So it's good to see that we were able to build not just like characters because of how these people act, but how they play on the football pitch, which is, it's always amusing to see. Really good stuff.
So a question that we asked in fan cams was playoffs. Obviously, we're sixth now going into international break. Can never get that word right. By default, if we won today, we were guaranteed sixth because Derby and Bristol don't play. They've both got games in hand. I think Bristol might have two. But just because they've got games in hand, they've still got to win them. We're the ones who've got the points already. We're in the position. We're sixth now for the next couple of weeks. That's a big psychological advantage. If we make playoffs, and it's a big if yet, we're getting very much ahead of ourselves after 4 wins. But I mean, if you can't enjoy 4 wins and get a bit carried away, then what is the point? If we do make playoffs and we get there, is this team and this squad and this manager better equipped to go one better than we did last season, do you think?
Yeah, because the players who've stuck around are better players. Jack Grealish is definitely a better player. I think we've got an upgrade up front in Tammy Abraham. The wingers aren't necessarily in form, but I do believe that on his day, Anwar Ghazi will definitely show up on a day on Wembley. That's a platform for him. Tyrone Mings is definitely, it's really tenuous to say, but I think he may be an upgrade on John Terry at the back, especially with a 38-year-old John. Yeah, I really do think so, because he's just capable of so much on the ball, and that's not saying he's a better player than John Terry. I think 38-year-old John Terry versus Tyrone Mings now, bit of a difference. Tyrone Mings got more legs on him, certainly faster, maybe even stronger. Maybe even more brainier on the ball. The decisions he's capable of making.
This is getting very much a big shout at this point. I'll be interested to see what the comments think of that.
It is a big shout, but I think we have to appreciate the legendary player that Terry is, and the legendary player that Tyrone Mings may yet become. He hasn't had the best start to his career, but he does look an exceptional player, and I think we're in a better position. I don't think Tyrone Mings will get caught out by the same type of ball that Terry was caught out in the playoff final, and that's not me.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not me disrespecting him or saying that he's necessarily that much better, but I think it's an upgrade in different ways. It might be a sideways upgrade. He offers so much more for Villa as a team. I think John Terry's still there. You get the same qualities from John Terry being on the bench, don't you? In playoffs, when it comes to the playoff final, we've got to get there first, and that's a big ask.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, it was just last week that it was a big ask to get into sixth, and we're there.
I think other teams would look at us and go, I don't really fancy Villa in the playoffs. I wouldn't want to play them. No. They've got Jack Grealish, they've got Tammy Abraham, they've got Tyrone Mings. They've got all these big players, and they're also on form. So I think that plays up to our status as well, of that we've just come out of nowhere, and there is always that team that comes out of nowhere, and it still could be somebody else. It could be a Sheffield Wednesday or a Preston that sneak into the playoffs. But why couldn't it be Villa still? We've won 4 in a row. If we go on to win the next 2 or 3 in a row as well, people will be seriously going, okay, Villa could make the playoffs here, and they will be the form team. That's a dangerous team to face. I've just seen another comment actually on fan cams. I could keep turning around and looking, but because I obviously have my intro, I've moaned about the weather. Someone's put, Steven Spielberg would control the weather.
Yeah, I think he would, mate. I think you've let the side down there.
I'm not going to be able to get away from this new name now.
No. I think you've completely let the side down. To be honest, I think when you are trying to pretend to be this massive producer and you're not able to, deal with the weather or the wind. I think it's really upsetting, and you're selling yourself short.
And just for context, there was a comment on Villa on Tour's video saying that the arrogance of Dan Rolinson thinks he's some kind of Steven Spielberg or something. I also like the fact that my name was in quotation marks as well,
Dan Rolinson.
If I wasn't using my real name.
But what is your real name? You got to own up to it. I think your parents had named you after Noel Edmonds or something embarrassing, and you just changed your name to Daniel Rolinson. I think you.
I mean, why would I pick that as a name though? Really,
it's pretty funny.
But yeah, we've seen today that Tony Pulis is still a manager that probably belongs in Jurassic Park. Villa moved up into 6th, and we'll be looking at the teams below them saying, catch me if you can.
Yeah, well done.
So we'll call it there. It's been a random post-match reaction. You can tell that it's getting on, and I've just been too busy today that I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. The last 5 minutes have been Steven Spielberg puns that probably won't even have made the edit, so we'll call it a day there. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like on it, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're getting ever closer to 15,000 now. Another YouTube channel I've seen getting pretty close to us, so if you want to subscribe to us, you can. Thank you very much for watching, and up the Villa.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.